Yo, what's good, everybody? This is Hyphy on the Beat Boy, and today I'm so excited to show you guys the final part of the 808 I was designing last week. If you haven't seen that video, you need to watch it to be able to understand what I'm going to be showing you in this video. So this is the part of the 808 that wobbles, that doesn't have a kick. So without further ado, I'll just get right into it. Put on your headphone, and I'll play you the sample of what I'm trying to remake here, because I really spent a long time trying to decode this sound from the sample, design it. So that's what I'm gonna be making. So like I said, if you haven't watched the video before from last week, just check one of the description link below and watch it. So bring back your massive here when you have your pattern. Just a quick one. If you see my mouse dancing around here, just know that I wasn't crazy. I was not crazy. It was Windows Recorder that couldn't record some action. So this is basically what I was operating here. So the first thing I did was replace here with massive, the massive, wherever you put your massive, just bring it, drag it here, anything. So that's how I brought out the massive. When I have my massive, the next thing is to bring back that sample that I gave you guys to download for free that we made last week. Pop 2 to give 2, that was the name of my system. I don't know what I saved it as to upload on my drive. So the first thing we want to do is reduce the harshness, which is the square wave of the sample, just a little bit, because this 808 is a bit more quiet, not really harsh. And reduce the drive a little, just very little subtle sounds. So if you know, the 808 didn't have a kick. It sounded like the kick and the 808 wanted to, like, if this is the kick, if this is the 808, it was like psh, psh. But like there's something compressing it. It was like missing. So after a long time of analyzing the sound and just tweaking my buttons, this is how I envision it in my head. Let's say this is the normal one we made last week. So let me solo that. The first thing I did was, so you know, this is what I call the kick. So I shifted, give it a delay to make it like, you know, it wasn't hitting at the same time. This is a pretty long delay. Then the next thing was to reduce the level, because the kick was reduced here. That's the first thing to make it sound like that. So the reference track I'm using is like Polo G 31 or 22, one of the song. I think the title was 22 or 31. One of them had that kick, that 808 without the kick that wobbles, and many other producers use it on songs, so you can just listen to anyone. This is gonna be the cleanest way to get that sound that I'm showing you guys. Already we have something, but we are not even close to done. So here we reduce the level because we don't really want to. We increase the decay here because we want the presence to be felt more. So now we're a bit closer, but we're not there yet. Then what we now need to do is increase the release here to around this place, and the release here just to increase it a little bit. And now we have this. So it's a bit closer. Now we need to wobble it. You know, the real 808, the sample had some wobble in it. So this is the pattern of the wobble that I used. Started from the middle, went to the middle, and just like that. Then I did the same thing for the bottom here, but it was to counter the first one. But just to make it subtle a bit, I was playing with the wobble here to make it exactly the pattern that I want. So I don't want to go too much to this side. I don't want to go to this side. I just want to be in the middle just a bit, so that the presence will be felt just a bit. You won't even know that there's wobble there. You just hear the old 808 sounding good. And now this wobble 5, this LFO 5, which is a low frequency oscillation, I'm going to use to control this level here. And it's going to be like this. And I'm going to use to control. Let me first play it, and you see that it wobbles a bit. Let me mute it. Now let me unmute it again. right there. Now this is where you notice most difference. Let me mute it. Without the wobble, it sounds straight, but with the wobble, it's gonna have a little bit character in it, just very subtle. You can notice it. Now let's complete the wobble. We have first of all, stop this. The next thing we want to wobble is decay level, the wobble level. Nah, that'll be the last thing I'll try, but I don't think I want to wobble it yet. So we need to create a new pattern of wobble. So let's start from here, and we'll create this one to the max, and then this 6th wobble controls this level here. So which means when the max volume hits this place, it goes following this pattern, like it goes like in a very fast way. Okay, let me just play it. So I'm gonna breeze through to the end and just wobble the remaining. This level goes like a different pattern wobble here. Then I'll wobble this release like this. So I want the release to be longer, following that wobble pattern. Now let's go on back to the 6th wobbles. I have it here. So I need to turn this down a bit. Yeah, it was clipping before. So let me turn it down more. Now the last thing, which is the source, is to add the release here, because the 808 is long, but then I don't want the release to be, play this macro, I don't need this to control anything. I don't want this release to like sound when the note is hitting a high note. I want it to be like a normal sample. You know, when you hit the high note of a normal sample, if you're using the audio sample, it's going to be short. So that's the effects I'm trying to achieve here. So I'm going to drag this here, and I'm going to drag this to the back, meaning the release will be long if the note is low, and it will be short like in this position if the note is very high. But honestly, you don't want to be playing this 808 on a high note because it sounds so weird. If you want to play it on a high note, I'll advise you to sample it. But then in order to get that sample effect where we have that short high note sound, just in case we want to play it on high note, let's just put it there. So now we have this. So that's it. So again, you can add a lot of stuff to your own. Let me stop this. You can add a whole lot of things to yours. Like there's a lot of possibilities with this combination, man. You can craft your own sound, and trust me, by finding this out myself, I'm so gonna make a lot of unique sound that the industry will even need. I'm just kidding, but then I have a lot of ways to make unique sounds now because I've found this. I've decoded this secret. And I did it by watching a lot of tutorials online and adding up to my own knowledge and my own experience and things like that. So let's compare it to my reference that I did when I made this initially. That's my original reference I made. Now this is the one I made here. Okay. Already I can tell that that I made here needs more release, and I need to check it out. I think the release has to be here. Now let's try it again. Let me check this out again. Now let me compare it again. So let me compare it to the one I made again here. Okay, it's similar. It's quite similar. I think I'm satisfied. The funny thing is, most people won't notice the very subtle difference I'm comparing them with. But at the end of the day, when I put it in a song, you'll feel it all together. So that's that. I'm gonna be giving this out again for free. Thanks for watching, and if you like this, consider subscribing, sharing it out to your friend. Comment below if this was helpful. If it is helpful, if I get enough positive comments on this, I'll make more of this sound design tutorial. So this Hi-Fi, I upload every Monday, helpful videos like this, and I make beats. That's my #1 passion. So thanks again. Peace out.